For decades, LaGuardia has been ranked as one of the worst airports to set foot on. It's cramped, dark, and honestly, just depressing.
Travelers say they're being bitten by swarms of mosquitoes.
You're buying sushi at LaGuardia Airport? Have you lost your damn mind?
If I took you in blindfold and you took you to LaGuardia Airport in New York, you must think I must be in some third world country.
As the famous saying goes, when you land at LaGuardia, the first thing you should do is take a cab to JFK. To make matters worse, LaGuardia serves as one of the most important airports in the world. Some 30 million people use this airport each year. It becomes a matter of embarrassment when the first impression of America looks like this. Finally, in 2015, it was announced that LaGuardia Airport would undergo a much-needed renovation. This would cost $8 billion and completely change the face of what was once America's most hated airport. This is what LaGuardia used to look like, and this is what it looks like now. Here's a 60-second summary of everything wrong with the old design. Let's start with Terminal B, the most dreaded part of LaGuardia. Previously, it had a head house with 4 finger extensions coming out of it. Planes would park around the 4 concourses, and as you can expect, it would get quite crowded. From a passenger's point of view, it would be easy to enter the wrong concourse and then have a meltdown trying to figure out which of the other 3 is your destination. The new Terminal B has a central head house with only 2 satellite concourses. This eliminates the guessing game for millions of passengers. Moreover, with the old design, aircrafts had to be towed a long distance before reaching the runway. The simplistic design of the new concourse allows easy access to the runway. There's also enough space for the plane to slide beneath the sky bridges. Besides Terminal B, the old airport had 2 other terminals, C and D. These 2 terminals were replaced by a single Terminal C. The new Terminal C is operated by Delta Airlines and cost a whopping $4 billion. Interestingly, this terminal is nearly twice the combined size of the former terminals. The interior features floor-to-ceiling windows and unmatched security features. This is a big change over the previous dimly lit and undersized corridors. It's safe to say that even if your flight gets delayed, you won't mind spending a few moments here. To make adequate space for aircraft, Terminal C has 4 concourses. A total of 37 gates are connected by a centralized check-in lobby. But by far, the biggest attraction of this place is the Delta Sky Club. You can grab a drink from its bar, choose your favorite local food, and enjoy it with stunning views of the airfield. The biggest weakness of the old LaGuardia was related to Terminal B. New Yorkers complained about it as a regular hobby, and for the most part, they were right. Buckets were often placed on the floor to catch water leaking through the roof. The ceilings were oppressively low. There was hardly any natural light. And to top it all off, it was perpetually overcrowded. This was a far cry from what the airport used to be back in the day. LaGuardia opened as a commercial airport in 1939. The airport takes its name from former New York Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia. He was the man who insisted that New York should have a commercial airport besides the one in Newark. Technically, Newark Liberty Airport is in New Jersey, but given how close it is, it's frequently used by New Yorkers to this day. At the time of LaGuardia's opening, it had 6 hangars, the largest in the world. Needless to say, the airport was an impressive achievement of the American aviation sector. As the aviation industry evolved, aircrafts became larger and larger. They now occupied double the space on a single concourse. Moreover, the number of passengers also increased dramatically. And the reason was LaGuardia's location. The airport was just 8 miles from Midtown Manhattan and had a significant edge over Newark Airport. Unfortunately, LaGuardia couldn't keep up with the evolving changes. The airport had already started to show its age in the late 90s. This explains why it would rank the very last when it came to customer satisfaction. The media was also outspoken about its criticism, and the public didn't hold back either. People would frequently leave one-star reviews for LaGuardia. The airport's big break came in 2015. The Port Authority of New York and New Jersey announced a comprehensive plan to construct a new LaGuardia Airport. The Central Terminal, or Terminal B, was to see the biggest changes. After all, it was the largest terminal in the airport and serves 4 major airlines. The new terminal featured 1.3 million square feet of space and was built for a cost of $5 billion. This makes it the largest public-private partnership in U.S. aviation history. Passengers can now enjoy big airy lounges and advanced check-in points. The redevelopment includes a new 35-gate terminal, a parking garage, and 50 new shops and restaurants. By 2024, passengers had acknowledged the massive change in LaGuardia. Forbes named LaGuardia the best airport in America. Meanwhile, Terminal B was awarded with UNESCO's Prix Versailles award. LaGuardia went from being the butt of jokes to now one of the finest airports in America. However, those who know LaGuardia know that a simple terminal renovation won't solve all its issues. Much of its problems stem from the very reason that made LaGuardia an attractive airfield back in the day. The airport is bordered by water on 2 sides, while the Grand Central Parkway limits it from the south. So, a physical expansion is out of the question. There's also the odd configuration of LaGuardia's runways. The airport has 2 runways that intersect with each other. This intersection effectively guarantees that both of them can't be used at the same time. The surrounding water and the relatively shorter runway made the aircraft landing somewhat technical. Pilots have likened this to landing on an aircraft carrier. Since LaGuardia is pretty much limited in space, there was a proposal to build a 3rd runway on the nearby Rikers Island. The 400-acre island was used as a prison facility, scheduled to be shut down by 2027. Creating a 3rd runway would have increased LaGuardia's capacity by an exciting 40% and accommodated 12 million passengers. As there's practically no space in New York, the island proposal made sense for many. However, it couldn't go forward because of 2 reasons. The total cost was projected at $22 billion, more than double of LaGuardia's entire renovation. Secondly, LaGuardia sits on a very busy airspace. The surrounding airports like JFK, Newark, and Teterboro all contribute to this phenomenon. The sky above this city sees some 3,000 flights daily. Adding another runway would only amplify the existing issue. At any rate, LaGuardia is a domestic airport, and it's better to keep it that way. As we said before, LaGuardia's problems can't just go away with a simple renovation. A major chunk of its problems are related to the airport's accessibility. And remember, since this is New York, getting anywhere and reaching on time isn't easy. In 2014, an AirTrain was proposed to connect LaGuardia Airport with the rest of Queens. The 1.5-mile corridor would feature an elevated railway system. Similar to the one used at JFK, it appeared to be a step in the right direction, as more and more airports are adopting this system. In fact, LAX is about to feature an all-electric train that will run on a dedicated track. It's going to cost $3.3 billion and will be finished by 2026. Unfortunately for LaGuardia, the AirTrain project was discarded due to its high cost and disruption to the nearby neighborhoods. So, if you have to catch a flight at LaGuardia, you can rely on public transport or maybe your own car. As air ridership has continued to rise, the world is adding more airports and renovating the existing ones. Every graph projects an upward growth, and the only hiccup that ever came in the aviation industry was after the 9/11 attacks and the COVID-19 pandemic. Now that the pandemic restrictions are lifted, the aviation sector has regained its strength. Let's review some of the new airports that we'll get to see in 2025. Number 1 on the list is the Noida International Airport in India. It's set to become the country's largest airport upon completion and will cost $4 billion. The project is managed by Switzerland's Zurich Airport, which will bring a wealth of experience in terms of airport hospitality. According to the latest news, Noida Airport will begin ticket bookings in February 2025, with operations starting in April. Number 2 on the list is the Solidarity Transport Hub in Poland. Expected to open in 2028, the project will integrate air, rail, and road transport. What's interesting is that this airport will have a dual use. It could be used by military aircrafts and combat equipment to defend Poland or the Baltic nations in the event of a war. There's also a plan to create 1,600 kilometers of new railway lines, connecting the airport with Poland's capital, Warsaw. On number 3, we have Utapao Aviation City in Thailand. It's safe to say that this would be the grandest project on the list. The project involves turning the existing Utapao Airport into the main international airport in the country, whereas the area around it will be transformed into a stunning, multifunctional city. The project is situated on 2,500 acres of land, right in the heart of Thailand. All major cities can be reached within 90 minutes by air. The city features over 3 million square meters of mixed-use commercial areas. Being a trade-free zone, this project will attract foreign investors to explore the best of Thailand. The city's proximity to deep-sea ports could establish it as a logistics hub in the future. At number 4, we have the Long Tan Airport in Vietnam. It's going to be the most expensive construction project in the country's history, with an estimate between $16 to $18 billion. The airport is situated 40 kilometers east of the city center in Dong Nai province. It will have enough space for 4 runways and could serve over 100 million passengers annually. Such an ambitious size would put it up there with the largest airports in the world. Long Tan Airport would be the second airport in Ho Chi Minh City. It is being built as an alternative to the existing airport, in order to relieve its increasing traffic demand. The project is expected to be finished by the year 2026. Inside the US, a number of airports are undergoing billions of dollars worth of improvements. But instead of focusing on ordinary renovations, we've discovered an airport that truly blends art with convenience. If you've ever used Concourse B at Salt Lake City Airport, you likely remember the long walk to and from B gates. This distance was shortened by an $80 million river tunnel. The river tunnel intends to create an immersive positive passenger experience. 6 moving walkways have been installed in the tunnel to help with passenger flow. The tunnel's designer, Gordon Hugh, took inspiration from the rivers that flow through Utah's canyons.
It's a shorter walk, it's a more entertaining walk, and it's most definitely the most beautiful tunnel, not only in Salt Lake City that I have seen in an airport, but like across the nation. I've been to many airports.
Salt Lake City Airport is undergoing a $5 billion renovation that will eventually be completed in 2026. This includes a multi-gate expansion, a new greeting room, and more impressive art installations throughout the airport. Matt Needham, the director of aviation, aptly said, "When you design a hub airport, the focus is often on efficiency over beauty. But who wants to be in a nameless, faceless airport?" And that's basically the vision behind Salt Lake City Airport. Do you think this is the most beautiful airport in America? Share your thoughts below. If you're interested in airports, we have created an in-depth video about the 2 upcoming airports in India. See you there!